called, or I feel called to do the kind of work, to be with people, to listen to their stories, to I really know that stories are healing for all of us. And oftentimes we don't have an opportunity to tell that story. We are afraid, or there's no one who will listen to us. I'm at the Basilica outreach program for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And sometimes spend it all with one person and sometimes with several. As I come to the Basilica, I need to be present to it, to just say, all right, here I am. I don't know who I'll meet today, but here I am. And so I'm present to whoever comes. It's extraordinary. It's a surprise to me that I can do this, even after more than 4 years, that I can still go. And I need to say, I never say that it's easy. It's never easy, but it's also not hard. And so that paradox of being a bit uneasy and yet being drawn into knowing that there will be someone or someones that day who will talk with me, who will sometimes unburden themselves, but really tell the story, what they want to say to someone like me who will listen to them. But a young man came up to me who was obviously distressed and said to me, which doesn't happen very often, usually I go up to them, but he came up to me and he said, could he have some time with me? And I said, yes. He said, I really want my daughters back. Wow, I thought, what is this all about? And so he began to tell me his story, how he'd been in prison recently, but his sister takes care of his daughters who are about 5 and 7, and he dearly wants them back. And he wants to be a father to them, and he wants a life. And so it just unfolded how he told some of the things, whatever he wanted to tell me. I don't ask direct questions like, why were you in prison? I might say, how are you doing now? Where are you now? Where are you staying? Or, what do you have in mind, or what do you want to do? And that just sort of opens up. But it was also a very emotional time, and that is often true. It's often true that people will cry or just pause, the long silence, long pauses of silence in which I just sit there and wait for them to be ready to speak again. I was most taken with the prayer we did at the end. And I don't always pray with people, but it's always an invitation to do that. And he said he would do that first. And he just spoke from his heart. He spoke from his heart about who he is and where he is. And I'll need to say that with him and with almost everybody, there's always hope. Now, most of these people have a deep faith that they are able to express one way or another. And because of that, even though they've been in some very dark places, either through things they've done, illness, things that have happened to their family, to people they love, all those things that have been very difficult and challenging, they have this basic hope that God is there for them. And we often then talk about that, but his prayer was so deep and so trusting and so real. Yeah, it's about real. And now I'll cry. Okay. Because I said if they cry, I also often cry. Not because I'm sad, and not because I'm frightened, because I'm deeply touched. Because that's sort of where we meet. That's where we meet, is the very place of God within. So, why do I go back? That's exactly why I go back. It's to allow someone to have that experience. But it also allows me to have it. When we give, we always receive. That's the way it is.